The Patriot Viper PV553 SSD is a next-generation solid-state drive that delivers blazing-fast performance for gaming and other demanding applications. It is one of the first SSDs to support the PCIe Gen5 X4 interface, which offers up to 12.4 GB per second of read speed and 9.8 GB per second of write speed. This is more than twice as fast as the previous PCIe Gen4 standard. The Viper PV553 SSD uses a custom controller and 3D TLC NAND flash memory to achieve high reliability and endurance. It also features a built-in active cooling system that consists of a heatsink and a fan to prevent thermal throttling and ensure optimal performance. The Viper PV553 SSD comes in capacities of 1 TB and 2 TB, and has a slim M.2 2280 form factor that fits most laptops and desktops. The Viper PV553 SSD is designed for gamers who want to enjoy faster loading times, smoother gameplay, and higher frame rates. It is also ideal for content creators, professionals, and enthusiasts who need to handle large files and complex tasks with ease. The Viper PV553 SSD is compatible with Windows 10 and Linux operating systems, and supports NVMe 1.4 protocol and smart monitoring. The Patriot Viper PV553 SSD is expected to debut at Computex 2023, where it will showcase its extreme gaming performance and innovative features. It is also nominated for the 2023 European Hardware Award for the Best SSD category. The Viper PV553 SSD is a cutting-edge product that represents the future of storage technology. Before you install the Patriot Viper PV553 SSD, you need to prepare your PC for the upgrade. This involves backing up your data and creating a bootable USB drive. Backing up your data is important because installing a new SSD will erase everything on your current drive. You can use an external hard drive, a cloud service, or another PC to store your files. Make sure you have copies of your personal documents, photos, videos, music, and any other important data. Creating a bootable USB drive will allow you to install Windows on your new SSD. You will need a USB flash drive with at least 8 GB of space and a Windows installation media tool. You can download the tool from Microsoft's website and follow the instructions to create the bootable USB drive. Once you have backed up your data and created the bootable USB drive, you are ready to install the Patriot Viper PV553 SSD. This is a PCIe Gen5 X4 drive that uses the M.2 form factor and slot. You will need to find the M.2 slot on your motherboard and remove any existing drive or shield that might be covering it. To install the SSD, you will need a screwdriver and a mounting screw. The mounting screw should come with your motherboard or SSD. If not, you can buy one online or at a hardware store. To install the SSD, follow these steps. 1. Turn off your PC and unplug it from the power source. 2. Open the case and locate the M.2 slot on your motherboard. It should be about 1 inch wide and protrude from the motherboard about 1/4 inch. 3. If there is an existing drive or shield in the M.2 slot, remove it by unscrewing the mounting screw and sliding it out. 4. Insert the Patriot Viper PV553 SSD into the M.2 slot at a 30-degree angle and gently push it down until it snaps into place. 5. Secure the SSD with the mounting screw and tighten it until it is snug. 6. Close the case and plug in your PC. You have successfully installed the Patriot Viper PV553 SSD in your PC. The next step is to initialize and format the SSD and install Windows on it using the bootable USB drive. Now that we have unboxed the Patriot Viper PV553 SSD, let's see how to install it in your PC. This SSD uses the M.2 form factor and the PCIe Gen5 X4 interface, which means it can deliver blazing fast speeds of up to 7,400 megabytes per second for sequential read and 6,800 megabytes per second for sequential write. To install this SSD, you will need a screwdriver and a compatible motherboard that has an M.2 slot that supports PCIe Gen5 X4. If you are not sure about your motherboard's compatibility, check the manufacturer's website or your owner's manual for more information. Before we begin, make sure to turn off your PC completely and disconnect the power cable and any other peripherals. If you are using a laptop, you may also need to remove the battery if possible. Then, open the case of your PC or laptop and locate the M.2 slot on your motherboard. It may be covered by a metal plate or a heat sink that you need to unscrew first. Once you have access to the M.2 slot, take out the mounting screw that holds the SSD in place. Then, carefully hold the Patriot Viper PV553 SSD by the sides and avoid touching the gold connector pins. Align the notches on the SSD with the ridges on the M.2 slot and insert it at a 30-degree angle. Do not force the connection or bend the SSD. After the SSD is securely inserted in the slot, push it down gently and secure it with the mounting screw that you removed earlier. Make sure the SSD is parallel to the motherboard and not angled down. If your motherboard has a metal plate or a heat sink for the M.2 slot, you can reattach it now. That's it. You have successfully installed the Patriot Viper PV553 SSD in your PC or laptop. Now you can close the case and reconnect the power cable, battery, and peripherals. Turn on your PC or laptop and enjoy the incredible performance of this SSD.